What exactly are you looking for? We want to make sure all our clients are satisfied.
We're gonna make it out of this alive, no ifs, ands, or buts about it! What are you, a fucking sicko?
Good friend of mine, his name was Skylar McGean. We used to hang out at this place on Sunset Boulevard called the Coffee Bean, and I would see him once or twice a week, and we became very, very good friends. And Skylar wanted to be in the movie business and write screenplays, make films, and had the passion more than anyone I think I've ever met. And he said to me, Aaron, you know, I have a son, and his name is Sean. He said, this kid's hysterical. I know he's going to be a star when he grows up.
Saved my life.
Skylar's sitting with me one day and he says, if anything ever happened to me, Aaron, I love my son, and I think he's a star in the making. He's like Jim Carrey. Would you help him? Would you do something for him? So I said, Skylar, I said, you're going to be around a long time. Don't worry about it. Of course I'm going to help him. He says, you promise me? I said, I promise. Well, one day I get a phone call. I'm in the theater, and I get a phone call from his wife, and she goes, Aaron, Skylar passed. I said, what? She said, Skylar passed. I said, oh, okay. I mean, I must have been in a state of shock. It didn't hit me for hours later that I realized that my friend Skylar had passed away, and I found that it was a massive heart attack. Well, a few weeks went by, maybe a month went by, and then I decided I'm going to do something for Sean. And I thought of this film, this fun, sexy, youth-oriented picture called Mustang Sally's Horror House, where I figured I'd put together a bunch of young, good-looking guys and young, good-looking girls and make a horror film, because horror films seem to be, the films that always captured people's interest, they piqued their curiosity. People like to be scared. So I went and made this film, and Sean McGean wound up playing the role of Seamus, and the rest is history.
So what do you say, gentlemen? My girls meet up to your expectations?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Can I take her home with me?
What? To meet your mama?
I became Mustang Sally because I've known Iron, the director, for a very long time. Actually, since I was probably in 8th grade. And ever since I was in 8th grade, Iron kept saying, one day I'm going to put you in one of my films. One day.
Yeah, I met Iron. I was at Earth Cafe. And this funny little man comes running up to me, very much like Mel Brooks. And I was like, who is this guy? And he was like, hey, listen, are you an actor? You know, you must be. You're in Beverly Hills. And I said, well, yeah, actually I do some acting. And he goes, well, listen, I got this movie, and it's a last-minute thing. You'd be perfect for it. You'd be perfect for it. I want you to do what you do. You read the script. And I'm like, all right, I'll read the script. How did I get this part? Actually, it was through one of the lead actresses. She's a friend of mine, and she had mentioned there's a film coming up she was doing. And I said I was interested, because, of course, work in Hollywood, you know, it doesn't come around too often. So she had mentioned this director, Iron Coster, and we actually had a coffee meeting. He handed me the script, we talked about it. He said he would like me to be part of it, so we sat down, we read it. I came to the first audition, and from there we took it.
And I was in a coffee bean and walked in, and he said, wow, you know, I was just telling my friend here, who I think is the producer, one of the producers, or the mother of the son, one of the voices in the movie, who said, I was just telling her how I wanted you to do this role, and you walked in.
I got a call from my manager last minute. They said, you know, there's a part in this movie. I don't even think he even knew the name right off. It was like a last minute thing. He's like, go down there and meet him. It's probably like 9 o'clock at night. I was like, what kind of audition is this? I'm not sure.
And in Hollywood, you don't really trust a lot of people, you know, point blank. So I'm thinking, okay, whatever, it's going to be nothing. And I read the script and I really liked it. And I called him up and I said, is this for real? You know, what's going on? And he invited me up to his pad and we had an audition and had a screen test, and then I went on from there. It was just great.
Iron has been one of my mentors in the industry. I was able to go to Australia with him on 2 other productions that he had done. And I was also involved in those productions. But this one that we just did here at Mustang Sally here in LA, It was a good experience for me to work again with Iron. And like I said, he's the one that has been giving me a lot of opportunities to appear and get my career going.
Well, I do a lot of different things. I really consider myself an artist. I do cartoon voices, the role of Tommy Pickles, and in the Rugrats, and Buttercup and the Powerpuff Girls, and Babe, and a new movie called Happy Feet that's coming out, or might be out by the time you see this. I do a lot of movies. I've written a lot of music for film, Scarface, Thief of Hearts, a lot of songs in a lot of different movies, composing, singing. I've had a lot of records out. I just really consider myself an artist. I really just love to be doing one thing or another, and I think I'll always do it, and I'm just really proud of everything that I've done. Every little bit of work that I've done means something to me, and it's kind of made me the artist that I am today, which I think is a really grounded, balanced artist, and nothing throws me anymore. I try to really just be grateful for what work I get, and also pick things that I like to do.
You love me, you crazy bitch!
Holy Mother of God!
I don't know, every time I think about it, I just remember being in that room freezing and just fake blood all over me. Like, I have nightmares about that.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was my first movie. It was relaxed. It was comfortable. Like, I got along with everyone. Everyone was so nice, and I had fun with the actors and the crew.
It was one of those things where it was just a really easy gig, and just from my experience working with different directors, we had a great time. Everything was easy. Kind of got to play with the character on my own. Not too much direction in terms of what I needed to do, but you just let me do what I thought was right for the character.
Good cast, great director, great food. It was a great movie making experience.
No, it was a really good time.
I really enjoyed it. It was really funny.
You had a good time?
I had a good time.
We had a ball. It was a party. It was actually kind of depressing when it had to end because every day was so much fun.
I think all of us had that freedom to kind of just put our own influences into the character and not stick to what people consider a blueprint. It was just the fun of being in the film, and it made it more enjoyable.
That's why I think Mustang was really fun for me. I had an amazing time working on that movie because it was like going to camp. We sat around in a cabin up in the mountains.
We all froze.
We all froze our booties off, but the beautiful thing was it was just like a beautiful house, a beautiful little cabin in the beautiful forest with beautiful people. And it was really quite fun, and sat around, told stories, and tried to stay warm by just lounging on each other, and it was just a really great time. I'm really happy I did the movie.
I want to thank you all for watching Mustang Sally's Horror House, and remember, if there's ever a sequel, none of these people are going to be in it.